What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, CEO, MTS Nutrition. Guys, all of a sudden I got blown up on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. You name it, email, people are going crazy because this guy went on Joe Rogan's Experience, his podcast, and not only did this guy go on, his name is Shawn Baker. He is a orthopedic surgeon, I believe, and he is also a Masters world record holder in rowing. The guy is just badass. He's an orthopedic surgeon. Good looking guy. You could tell he's wearing a long sleeve shirt. He's in shape. Nobody's arguing this guy's in shape. And they're talking about this carnivore diet. Carnivore diet. So everybody comes to me like, Marc, what is this carnivore diet? I'm guessing you eat meat. Now, you might remember Vince Gironda back before bodybuilding was bodybuilding. A guy who espoused full body training. He was the first one to really go into that. Looked ahead of his time. His physique was absolutely amazing. Stayed lean year round, and he did something called the steak and eggs diet. Now, what the carnivore diet is exactly this. Meal 1, ribeye steak, 16 ounces, let's say. Meal 2, 16-ounce ribeye steak. What? Carnivore diet is pretty simple. Eat only meat and water. By the way, guys, I addressed this. There's an article down below with footnotes and everything. Article down below on TigerFitness.com. Click on that link and, of course, comment on it for your chance. Well, not your chance. You get rewards points. Automatically free supplements and everything. So here's the deal. The most American diet ever, potentially. I mean, American diet, what do you think? Meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, pot roasted potatoes. Essentially, they took the meat and potatoes of the American diet and threw the potatoes out the window. And with the meat and potatoes being thrown out, they also threw out, I don't know, processed junk, and they threw out even fruits and veggies. What? Fruits and veggies? Absolutely. So what is the carnivore diet? Number 1, you eat meat. That's right, fatty meat's preferred. So you might be thinking, what about veggies and fruit? No, no veggies and fruit. What would my macros be? From what I can read online, it's a 1-to-1 fat to protein ratio or a 60-to-40 fat to protein ratio. Meaning half or more comes from fat, and another half comes from protein. So think think sources like ribeye steak, high-fat fish like salmon, sardines, things like that. Higher fat protein food. So not chicken breast, but chicken thigh or whatever. Now, I will say that most sources I read recommend a grass-fed source or a natural source like wild-caught fish, grass-fed beef. You guys know my stance on that. There's a huge difference in the fatty acid makeup in grass-fed versus grain-fed beef. Huge difference. So omega-3, CLA, all different, much healthier, I believe, much what we're meant to eat. What the cows eat that gets in their system, into the fat especially. So you want to get as healthy and pure, again, grass-fed over whatever. So it's 1-to-1. Is this a ketogenic diet? Not really. Ketogenesis is usually 70-30 or 80-20 fat to protein. The protein might be a little high, and also since you're not measuring things, I'll get into that later, you don't really know what your ratio is because you don't care. Okay, bottom line is the only way you're going to break out of this is via gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is when your body lacks both fat and carbohydrate for energy. So what it does, it takes protein and it breaks even protein down to glucose to fully fuel your body. But as Dr. Baker said on the Joe Rogan Experience, and as I knew going into this, gluconeogenesis is need-based and your body doesn't do it preferentially. So if your body has no other energy source, it will break down the protein, which doesn't mean your body's just gonna be like, hey, you know, this is all we need. So if there's an abundance of protein and little fat or carbs, it will do the gluconeogenesis thing. How often do you eat? Well, if you're hungry, eat a steak. If not, don't eat. The claim is that this diet naturally regulates your appetite. So basically, eat when hungry and don't eat when not. It essentially states that your body will control its own or self-regulate its intake. What about snacks? Again, dude, if you're hungry, have a steak. If not, don't eat. So what's good about this? Well, I think we had such a pendulum swing to everybody going vegan after documentaries, which were all one-sided bullshit, like What the Health came out. I love vegans. I think they're ethical, awesome people. I also think that they've shown us a lot about the benefits of fruits and veggies in our diet. I also think that What the Health was anti-science. It showed one viewpoint, and it basically wasn't a a documentary, it was propaganda. And for me, that's how communists come into power. It was basically false information, vilifying things, and presenting only one side. The reason I like Dr. Baker's approach is he literally started a website for people to try it and document why they like it and why they hate it, thus creating data on it. That's how science goes. When you have a theory, you try and disprove it. And then once you and then if you're unable to disprove it, it gives you, it doesn't prove something, but it indicates something. You know what I mean? So you never truly say it's 100% this way. You know what I mean? It's basically saying, well, you know, we have evidence that, but no one ever says there's absolute proof this is the only way. And that's the reason What the Health was such bullshit, is that it essentially only presented one side and one side only. It was complete and utter propaganda. So another thing is what this does, it gets rid of sugar in one's diet or added sugar or just bullshit fillers. It's been documented even in the New York Times, that the sugar industry in the 60s literally paid scientists to downplay the role of sugar in disease and also to overplay the role of fat in disease. So it really does a good job of kind of negating that. So here's the deal. I'm not doing this diet. I'm not ready to give up veggies. However, I do see some things that they don't like supplementing in this diet, but again, take it for what it's worth. I own a protein company. I like protein. I'm always going to keep whey protein in post-workout, right? I also like my green supplement, MTS Nutrition Machine Greens. That's good. Other than that, no more changes. Another thing is broccoli. Broccoli ain't going to kick your carbs too high. You can eat a metric ass load of broccoli and get literally a couple carbs, okay? And broccoli is good. So if I was to modify this in any way, remember the meal 1, meal 2, ribeye and ribeye? Meal 1 and meal 2 would be both 16-ounce ribeye and broccoli. And then post-workout, I'd have a scoop of MTS Nutrition Machine Whey, and I'd start out my morning with machine greens. That's how I modify this. I'd throw in other supplements if it was mine, but just to make it somewhat a semblance of what they're doing, that's fine. So let me know your thoughts on this diet. Go to the article linked down below. Let us know your thoughts on this. You would get a reward point to Tiger Fitness. And I think the article is pretty damn good, so read it. Anyway, guys, I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Because eating meat and potatoes, but not eating the potatoes, that's not a game.